What's going on? Super Nintendo Ed here. Today I am not alone, and we are not checking out something for the Nintendo Switch. No, I'm here with Kitsune Bites. How the heck are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be here. Been looking forward to this for a little bit now.
Yeah, we were talking about it for a little while, and so we're going to be talking about Vampire Survivors on the Steam Deck. Oh my goodness, my Steam Deck is ordered and waiting. Well, I'm waiting for to get the email, and you have had yours for quite some time now, huh?
Yeah, I was towards the tail end of Q1 when I got mine, so I've had it for like 5, 6 months.
Oh, yeah. So before we start talking about this, we are going to talk about you and tell everyone where they can find you.
So everyone can find me pretty much anywhere. It's at Kitsune Bites. That's Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all that happy stuff. But what my main focus lately has been my YouTube channel, primarily on Steam Deck gameplays.
Yes, yes. A lot of the videos I've been seeing of yours lately have been those like let's show off what this game looks like running on the Steam Deck and let's show off how it looks. Basically, what you do, it seems like from most of those videos I've seen, is you are putting like just throw it in, turn it on, and you're like, okay, here's what it's like if you just turn it on and start going.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm doing that is, Valve's marketing the thing as your portable Steam library, and a lot of people I feel are going to look at it from a console perspective. So why not look at it through the eyes of the people who are going to get it, who might not be PC gamers who like to tinker with their games? You want to buy a game and just play it. So that's what I'm trying to show off is you can get the game, play it, and here's how it looks without having to mess with any settings. Now, if there are something that, or if there is something you have to mess with, I'll have that in the description. But for the most part, everything just has been working.
Which is that's really great. And do have the games that you've been playing have they been just games that said they are verified, or are some of them just say playable or not playable at all and then still work?
So a lot of the games that I check out, it's a mixed bag. I'll play some that are verified, some that are marked as playable, some that are unsupported work way better than the ones that are supported. And then there's the category where Steam just says, "Yeah, we don't know, we haven't tested it yet, so good luck." And I'll be honest, everything so far has worked. I haven't really come into anything that I have to sit there and mess with a whole bunch of the video settings, graphic settings, overclocking the graphics card, all that. I haven't had to done any of that. It's just download it, press play, and we're good to go.
That's great. Yeah. The a lot of what I've seen online and what I've heard is you can only submit it once. Like there's only you have to wait. There's like a period where you can't submit it again if you submit it and it doesn't work properly. So then developers don't want to have a not supported for however long it needs to sit there before you can submit it again. So apparently that's why there's a lot of games that have question marks and they are just waiting until they can confirm it themselves. A lot of times, just waiting until they have a Steam Deck or someone on the team has a Steam Deck that they can try it out on to get it to work properly. And we're even seeing games updates coming out, like even Spider-Man talking about, oh, we fixed the scaling resolution issue with the Steam Deck. Like they're fixing issues that the Steam Deck specifically has.
I know one of the games, Elden Ring, that came out, and apparently what Valve had to do to get that to work on the Steam Deck, they went and implemented that on other PCs just because the way that the Steam Deck gets at all its shaders and all the other information for the games, it preloads all that. So your Steam Deck's always going to be updating the game ahead of where it thinks you are, which is wonderful. because you have seamless gameplay, no hiccups, no rubber banding, none of that. It just it's a wonderful experience, but it's awesome to see that they can take processes they're using on the Steam Deck and be like, "Oh yeah, hey, we have this working on our machine. Try it on yours and see if it'll work." Like that's pretty cool, and that's something you don't really get on a console experience.
Right, yeah. With Elden Ring specifically, I had heard that the Steam Deck version was the best performing version on PC for like before launch. So I know Jeff Grubb played through uh, all of Elden Ring only using the Steam Deck, and
Mhm.
that was like before, I think before the Steam Deck came out, right? Or like right around launch and before Elden Ring came out. So it was just performing really well there. But so the one question I get asked a lot is, what's going to be the first game I play on my Steam Deck? And before I knew this was out on the Mac, it was Vampire Survivors will be the first game I play because I wanted to play it. It's in early access. It's not on Switch or Xbox. It's just now out on PC Game Pass, I believe. But I mean, it's what, 2.99, 3.99.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
only a couple bucks.
yeah, and I was like, "Oh, this is my kind of jam. This reminds me of like um pacifist mode in Geometry Wars 2 or 3, whichever one had it. And you're basically moving around, not getting hit, but then um the different stuff you pick up around you is definitely going to be uh whatever it is picking up around you does the attacking for you, so you don't actually hit anything, you just move the stick and move around. It was the first time you ever played this on Steam Deck?
It was, yeah, and it was a game that totally surprised me, to be honest with you. Um, you figure I've been playing all these AAA games, a lot of the wonderful indie titles that are on the Steam store, and I kept seeing Vampire Survivors, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I could get into it. And boy, howdy, let me tell you,
Yeah,
it's really hard to put that game down because that's all you're doing. You're just moving the character. That's it,
right.
and it's very addictive.
And I don't know about you, but when I play roguelite games, I should say, because there's
Mhm.
roguelike and there's roguelite light. So roguelike are games that are just like Rogue, and
Mhm.
nothing carries over run to run. And then roguelike games, you'll end up getting stuff that will help improve your next run, which is what this game does. And when I play games like this or like Rogue Legacy or Rogue Legacy 2, um, if there's, I'll look and see, okay, this, I want to upgrade this. So in order to do this, I need to focus on whatever it is. Like I need to kill a certain number of skeletons. Like they have some of the unlocks are connected to the Steam achievements, and or I guess you could say the Steam achievements are connected to some of the unlocks. But it'll be like, oh, you need to kill 1,000 skeletons. So you go to one of the levels that has a bunch of skeletons and then just go and kill a bunch of them and then just keep doing that run over and over, and then you unlock that character. There's ones where you got to get a bunch of money, and then just I've been like looking up runs and tips on how to make my best run in order to make more progress. I'm trying to like unlock everyone, but also
Mhm.
trying to unlock all the areas and levels. Um, but yeah, what about you? How do you play your roguelike game? Oh, do you like roguelike games to begin with?
I do. I check them out. It's a game. It's I don't want to say it's a game. It's a genre that I spend a little time in. I do enjoy them, but I get frustrated from how many times I die in there.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're looking at the trees, I'm not one to be like, all right, I have to unlock everything. I usually go, what's the one that's going to give me the fastest movement? What's the one that's going to make me the deadliest? What's going to give me the biggest loot? Those are like the big three that I'm going to look for whenever I'm going through those type of games where you have to, progress and unlock things as you go. Similar to Cult of the Lamb, which is another phenomenal game for Steam Deck.
Yeah, and you
But
could.
that one, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you got a gameplay video of that on your YouTube channel too. But
I do, yeah. But yeah, that one, I know I don't have everything unlocked in it, but I solely wanted the stuff to make my weapon stronger, give me the different, I think they're called curses in there. Give me
yeah.
those.
Hmm.
And it just so I can move through the game quickly. Because let's face it, I have an attention span of a pea when it comes to video games. So I'm forever bouncing around between video game and video game and video game and so on.
Yeah, I do the same thing where I get so many codes for like games to make gameplay videos of that I'll make a gameplay video and sometimes I'll delete them and then other times I'll keep them. But then there's also some games like Vampire Survivor where I just keep playing it and playing it. Like it said, I already played it for something like 10 hours, and I don't know where those 10 hours went. It just flew by. And it's
Hmm.
like just from like what seems like quite a simple game like from the jump, and
Hmm.
then the more you play it, the more there is to unlock. There's strategies that like, oh, these classes and characters are better used in these levels, but they're not as good in some of the other levels. And it's all about like what weapons you like and starter weapons you like and which weapons you want to start with. um but yeah, Vampire Survivor, I just wanted to have you come on, talk about some Vampire Survivors, and talk about playing it on the Steam Deck. Did you play it docked or just in handheld mode?
So I did both. First playthrough was docked, and then the second was handheld, and both were wonderful because at heart I'm a handheld gamer. So anytime I can kind of have that singular experience, because when you're playing docked, anyone around you can see what's going on and they kind of join in the fun with you. But when it's when you're handheld, man, it's just something about it. It's great.
Oh yeah. This is what I was wondering is, does I hear people saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna play this docked." When you play docked, does it perform better than when you're playing it in handheld mode?
Uh, no, it's
It's the same.
consistent from handheld to docked, and that's what I think I love about the thing so much is you can dock it, put it on your TV, your monitor, what have you, and it's still going to perform the same exact way as it would if you're playing handheld.
It's almost like a Nintendo Switch.
Almost, and that was something that a lot of people are like, oh, it's a Switch killer, and I don't think it's a Switch killer. I could definitely see it being something that somebody brings with them. That I could see somebody going somewhere and be like, "Oh, I'm going to bring my Steam Deck and my Switch," because you can't get the first party stuff on Steam Deck from Nintendo, but you
Right.
can have everything else under the sun on your Steam Deck. So it's like, why not? Why not have two wonderful performing handheld consoles?
Yeah, exactly. Once I get my hands on the Steam Deck, I might just be sitting here um doing exactly that, playing these indie games, because a lot of them, more and more of them, I should say, are coming out like, even if it's just like 3 months early, they're coming out 3 months earlier on the PC, and
Hmm.
then they're gonna be coming to Switch later, and not performing as well. I was playing Cult of the Lamb at 60 frames a second on on my Mac, and of all things, because I'm seeing more Mac games for some reason.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's the M1 chip or what, but Cult of the Lamb, playing it at 60 frames a second, and then I loaded up the Switch version again when there's like the new update and they fix some things. Like now you can so in the console versions you could only have 6 followers in the um where was that, in the temple with you,
Hmm.
and even if you had like 20 people, there would only be 6 at a
Oh
time. It
wow.
was all the consoles. And then they patched that, and so now everyone's in there. But let me tell you, it's still like 30 frames a second, going from 60 to 30. I was like, oh, when I first played it, I was like, this isn't so bad. Playing it in 30, and I played all the way through on the Switch, and actually it performed better in handheld mode for some reason. Probably because of the resolution. It wasn't trying to scale up. But I played it in handheld mode most of the time, and I beat it. But now it's like, oh, I could see myself playing through this again on the Steam Deck, because I like playing games like that, or even games like this, in handheld mode, like while I'm doing something else. This is like one of those games I could be playing while watching, some murder mystery with
Mm-hmm.
my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. What were we gonna say?
I was just gonna say, it's really nice having like a machine that doesn't cost $1,500 to play AAA games to your indie games, just sitting there on the couch while watching, whatever else you want.
Right.
That is the whole reason I got a Switch, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of AAA, games on there, which is fine because Nintendo does make some good stuff.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it's just like you can't be playing Spider-Man Remastered on your couch while you're watching a movie. Like,
Oh yeah.
what more do you want?
Exactly. Yeah. But Vampire Survivors, it's not 1.0 yet, but you can go get it. It's I think it is what, $3.93. It's like $2 or $3.
Yeah,
And but yeah, thanks again for joining me, Aaron. Is Once again, can you just tell people where they can find you?
they can find me. It's at Kitsune Bites, and that's everywhere: YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, what have you. It's at Kitsune Bites on all that social media goodness.
Your mama's house, everywhere. That's
That's
it's the
it.
same everywhere. And yeah, and thanks for joining me for this video. And I will be linking to your YouTube channel in the description. You can check it out. And yeah, this has been Vampire Survivors.